Hi, Bee Club. It's Wednesday, June 17th. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Miss A and I are getting an early start, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a hive inspection. First of all, we're going to open up this hive right here. We put a brand new queen in that hive last Monday, and then it's been running around for about 9 days. So we want to make sure that she's happy, she's laying her eggs, and everything's good with that. Then this is the swarm hive that we got. We got that looking about 2 weeks ago now. So what we want to do is we want to open that up and see if the queen is good, if they're happy, if they're moving around and laying eggs, and everything's good with that. Today's goal, what I want to do is kind of show you the difference. We've been talking about drones and worker bees. Today I want to look at those a little bit more closely and hopefully show you exactly what a drone looks like and what the worker bees look like. Remember, drones are males. And they don't have a stinger. They have no job in the hive. Their only sole purpose in life is to mate with the queen. The worker bees are all females, and they do everything in the hive. They feed the babies, they clean the inside the hive, they go out and then they get nectar and pollen, they bring it back, they guard the hives, and they could sting. So I'm going to show you that. Hopefully everything goes well. All right, everybody, here we go. We got an example of a drone, a male, and then a worker bee, which is a female. The drone is this one right here. He is much bigger than the worker bee. There's our worker bee. You can see it's smaller. The worker bee's on the bottom right there. And then if I move in close, you can see that the drone has really big eyes. And those eyes are about in the middle of its head. There it is. Whereas the worker bee has much smaller eyes. The other difference that you can see is that the worker bee has a point at the end, and at the end of the point is going to be the stinger, whereas the drone has no point. It's much more rounded, thus there's no stinger. There's our drone again, and again the drone just kind of walks around the hive, doesn't do much, whereas the worker bee is going to have a job. She was inside the hive. She was beating her wings on a bunch of nectar, trying to evaporate the water to turn that nectar into honey. So there you go. That's the difference between a drone and a worker bee. She just found the queen. So you can see that the queen is marked. She has a little blue dot on her. This queen was released to the hive last Monday. So it's been in the hive here for 10 days. And Miss A said that there's eggs. Where did you see the eggs, Miss A?
I saw the eggs on the side. If you can get a close-up in there, they are down in those cells.
And what do the eggs look like?
The white, tiny, tiny, tiny pieces of rice.
Oh, we do see them.
Oh, you can see them in the camera. Oh,
yeah.
They're beautiful.
So Miss A, that's what you're looking for, right?
Right, and I was making sure there was a single egg and not double eggs. If there were double eggs, it would mean that there's a laying worker or the queen hasn't figured out how to lay eggs yet. But
so sometimes there's going to be 2 eggs inside of that little cell?
there could be, and that's a sign that you have a queen that's not doing what she's supposed to do, or you have a female bee who's developed her ovaries and is laying eggs, called a laying worker. Not a good situation.
Now, Miss A, on this one right here, it's yellow. What does that mean?
That's pollen in there.
And why would they put pollen in there?
They put pollen and they mix it with nectar to make bee bread, which is food for the brood or the eggs when they hatch into larvae.
And then we got a bunch of these worker bees walking around. What are they doing?
They're just searching the cells. They may be guiding the queen if she was on this side where to lay the eggs. They could be fanning the nectar to turn into honey.
Well, that's what you wanted to see, isn't it?
That is exactly what I want to see. Let's see if the queen's still there on that side. There she is.
Oh.
She is beautiful. Look at that long body.
So the queen is much longer than all the other bees. And it goes marching around. And what is she looking for right now?
She may be looking for a place to lay eggs, but the workers also help decide where she lays those eggs. And she's probably not very happy right now because she's exposed to light.
Well, we'll let her get back to doing her job. Just because just because you can't get used to seeing it enough, this is just a whole bunch of bees on a big frame. And Miss A, what are you looking for right now?
I'm looking to see if there's more eggs. There aren't no more eggs. This is just a lot of bee bread, so pollen in there that they've stored to eat and feed brood if there is any brood.
So now Miss A is going through our other hive. This is what we call the swarm hive. This is the swarm of bees that we caught. What she's looking for are there eggs? And she just pulled out one frame, and she found some eggs. So that means the queen is active. She's laying the eggs. Miss A, about how long do the bees live for at this time of year?
6 to 8 weeks in the summer, because they really get wore out by foraging. And look at that beautiful capped brood. So she has been laying and the brood is capped, and that is female worker brood because it's flat.
So how long, the queen's going to lay her egg, which we saw in the other hive, and then how long is the egg going to sit there before they put this cap on it?
Oh, I don't recall the exact date.
But then what happens is that egg hatches, and then it's kind of like a caterpillar. It's going to metamorphosize from a little larva into a bee, like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly.
Golden, she's about the middle, going towards you.
Right there, there's the queen. She's been doing a good job, Miss A said. She said she's just amazed about how many eggs that she's laid in 2 weeks.
Hello! Today's objective for me was to come to the pea patch and see if the queens were laying eggs. If the queens weren't laying eggs, I was going to have to come up with another plan, which I didn't know what that plan was. And in both hives, I saw the queen, which was awesome, and they both are laying eggs. And I was really impressed with the swarm hive queen. She has laid lots of eggs and we already have capped brood, which is amazing. And in this hive, there are some eggs, not a lot, so hopefully the queen is just getting in her groove and will start laying more eggs. Successful day today.
So there you go. We'll leave these hives here be by themselves for about 2 weeks, and then we'll come back and do another inspection. Have a good day, everybody.